Hi, customer service agents. My name is Sarah. I work here at CRI Genetics as a product developer. Before we get started, I want to thank you for everything you guys do. I truly think you guys have the hardest job as being at the forefront of listening to people's complaints and simply just being unhappy customers. So again, thank you for everything you do, and I truly appreciate it. That also being said, this is my first time doing anything like this, so bear with me as we take this adventure together. And I hope this presentation teaches you guys a lot. It will be a lot of information, and I hope you benefit from it for these unhappy customers. I divided it up into 4 categories. The first thing we're going to talk about is cells and DNA. Second will be paternal lineage. Third will be maternal lineage. And lastly will be famous people. So let's get started. Cells and DNA. So as most of you learned when you guys were younger, was a cell is the basic building block of life. It has a bunch of different functions. Inside the cell, there are organelles, and they are very similar to organs like the liver, heart, brain of our own bodies. They each serve a specific function. DNA is found in 2 places. We have the mitochondrion, or mitochondria, which is plural, and we have the nucleus. So this is a zoomed up picture of both. So in the nucleus, DNA at this state is in the form of chromatin, which I will discuss a little bit more later on. And then mitochondria are the circles found throughout the organelle. The outer structure of these 2 organelles is different. Mitochondria is in a circle, just like bacteria. A nucleus, DNA, is in the form of linear, the double helix, which many of you, that's what you associate DNA, the famous double helix. The DNA chemical inside the structure is the same. They're both double-stranded, and if you think of DNA like a ladder, the sides of the ladder are made up of a sugar phosphate backbone, and then the rungs of a ladder are these chemical bases. These bases pair up with one of each other, so adenine only pairs up with thymine, guanine only pairs up with cytosine. The sequence of these base pairs is the code that makes you. Actually, it makes all organisms, not just you, everything. But in terms of humans, we all have 99% of the same sequence of base pairs. However, there is 1% that makes us each unique. Also on that note, the similarity between humans and chimps is 98%, and the similarity between you, me, and a fruit fly is 60%. So it shows the power of DNA and how just little things that happen, which I'll discuss in about a second, occur and change us for who we are. So how do these differences occur? Mutations. Mutations occur in all DNA. Mutations are a permanent change in a DNA sequence. There are 3 different types. We have a substitution. So you can see in this example, we have a T to a CG or to a TA. We have a deletion, so I just got rid of it, or we have an insertion, just got added in. Then we have 2 different types of classifications. We have hereditary, which is what we're going to discuss throughout the rest of the presentation, and somatic. So hereditary these mutations are found in all cells, and they are inherited from parent to offspring. Somatic are not found in all cells. It will not be passed on to the child and occurs throughout life. A good example of this is why you wear sunscreen. Sunlight UV radiation actually damages DNA, can cause mutation, and therefore negative things can happen. So hereditary mutations, as I said, this is what we're going to be talking about the whole rest of the presentation. They travel thousands and thousands of years through many generations, and paternal lineage is found in Y DNA, and maternal lineage is found through mtDNA. So we're going to get into the nucleus. So as I mentioned earlier, in chromatin is what DNA is found in most of its life. It's called interphase, and think of it as adulthood. So, however, most people associate DNA to chromosomes. And DNA only gets more highly compacted into chromosomes right before they're going to cell division. So keep that in mind. The nucleus, however, coordinates the cell's activity. It stores DNA in terms of 3 million base pairs and over 20,000 genes. The DNA located in the nucleus is a combination of your mom and dad. Half came from the sperm of your father, half came from the egg of your mother. They combined, to get 23 pairs of chromosomes, or 46 chromosomes total. This is where a majority of your DNA is analyzed for genetic testing. So 22 pairs of these chromosomes are autosomal. They do not determine your sex. They're just named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I just mentioned on the last slide, 22 pairs of chromosomes, 22 pairs, and then 44 chromosomes. And each parent provides a chromosome to make a pair. Sex chromosomes. So these are the ones that determine if you are a boy or a girl. If you are a girl, you have a XX pair, and if you're a male, you have an XY pair. And I should mention that the sex chromosome is the 23rd pair of chromosomes. So very similar to autosomal chromosomes, a parent provides a sex chromosome to their child. Females only have the 2 X's, therefore they can only provide an X to their offspring. Males, however, can provide an X or a Y chromosome. Therefore, the father determines the sex of the child. Now, if you think throughout history or even current times, there are situations where people only want a desired sex, either a boy or they only want a girl. For example, in the early 1500s, King Henry VIII wanted a boy. He wanted a heir to his throne. His first wife he divorced because she provided the future Queen Mary. Second wife, famous Anne Boleyn, executed. She provided Queen Elizabeth. The third wife died during childbirth. She provided his son Edward. And then he got married 3 more times. He divorced the 4th one, executed the 5th one, and the 6th one outlived him. So nothing bad happened to her. And he only got 1 son out of all that. His son only lasted 7 years on the throne. He died at the age of 15. So that's how we got future Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth.